from the grave, those left behind were the bold and the brave. Each tear that we shed fuels a purpose so clear, to honor the lost, to make justice appear. For the mothers, the fathers who buried their own, whose hearts skip a beat at an empty home. I know that ache, it's the wound that won't heal, but we'll walk through the fire, make the world feel. Every name, every face, they're more than a case. I'm their voice when the world turns away. Through the ashes of grief, I'll never let go. This is my fight, this is my soul. I bleed for truth, I scream for the lost, for the hearts that break, for the ultimate cause. No shadows can hide what the facts unfold. I'm warning like a needle, there's a story to be told. For the vision, for the pain, I stand in the rain. With empathy and anger, I'll break every chain. Through the loss of my son, I'll carry his flame. For the truth, for the fallen, I'll never be tamed. All the pain, it's the fire that burns in my veins. Oh, we'll turn it to passion through the endless remains. Those left behind will rise from despair. With purpose as our sword, we'll make the world care. No clickbait, no games, just a heart that's been torn from the ashes of loss. A warrior is born. I bleed for truth, I scream for the lost, for the hearts that break, for the ultimate cost. No shadows can hide what the facts unfold. I'm warning label Nina with a story to be told. For the vision, for their pain, I'll stand in the rain. With empathy and anger, I'll break every chain. Through the loss of my son, I'll carry this flame. For the truth, for the fallen, I'll never be tamed. My son's in the stars, but his fight's in my core. Those left behind will fight evermore. Alien label Nina, my voice won't break. For the truth, for the lost, don't make the earth shake.
Yay me. I remembered turning the mute button off. Sorry I'm late, y'all. It took me about 15 minutes just to get some sound going. So I don't know what happened, but we finally have sound, so we're going to take it. Everybody knows that this is an impromptu live, and there wasn't anybody live. Yeah. Dolphin says, yeah, tonight's been fairly quiet. I think everybody is watching the documentaries. And I'm going to tell you, I don't know if y'all seen them or not, but whoo, buddy, the prime one is heart wrenching. Hey, PKC. So, I've got some stuff that I talked about this a little bit when I was on Daniel's panel last night about some stuff that I had found. And I thought that we would go over it a little bit. And I'm not very good at saying, like, I mean, Daniel was like, you need to get this stuff out there. And I'm like, I'm not really good at like saying, hey, look what I found. You know, it just doesn't seem, I don't know. But I guess if you find something through your research, I mean, I always share it, but it seems like I always share it, I don't know, in another way instead of doing a live with, the big booms, So, how's everybody doing? I hate a delay, but let's see. So this is going to be some pictures that I'm going to go through. And what happened was I was doing research, and the big thing going on right now is the Papa Roger, and people wondering. He showed this is new to me. Oh, okay. Okay, well, last night he had me, Dr. Vanna, and Alina? Yeah, Alina. And if I'm not mistaken, Alina is she was the admin. Her and her friend was like the admin of the Facebook group that Papa Roger that Papa Roger came in on. And so her knowledge of Papa Roger is like majorly vast. And so then he brought me up because of this stuff. So through researching, the Papa Roger and Hey Sunflower, stuff like that, um, I came upon some email addresses of Coburgers that's not real publicized, I guess. I'm not going to say I'm the only one that has them because I'm not that arrogant, but they're not real publicized. And so what I started doing was going down each rabbit hole of each email address, and this is going to be email addresses that he had from like 2010 to 2015 during his Tappa Talk days. And it really caught me off guard because one of them is Coburger, and that's actually the one that was linked to an Instagram that he actually followed the girls on. And as soon as he got arrested, it got totally shut down. And so, but it was what happened was, and there was it. All it says was that in 2009 there was a breach, and that his email addresses got leaked and stuff like that, and that it was through a pay company. I don't know exactly what that means. Um, I'm I'm learning how to investigate, I guess. I mean, like learning like how to look an IP address up and stuff like that. And so Coburger was the one that was attached to the Instagram, but it was also attached to a Tumblr, I think. Okay, the Wi-Fi Army. Wi-Fi Army, boy, that's an interesting one because that is one that he actually had that when he was in high school and stuff like that, he would a Wi-Fi Army is actually a game. And hey, Leany, it's not Lean, it's Leany. Uh, y'all go follow Leany. She's an excellent creator. She's a lot like me. She probably needs a warning label, but her stuff is, she's got the passion and the heart too. So, and she's just herself, and that's what we like. And there's seriously serious. So Wi-Fi Army was a game, and you could get the app on there, and somehow or another he would play the game and get the app on there, and then he would like trace the girl, track the girls and stuff because it always gave location. And so he would always use it to get the girls' location and everything. And if I had to bet, because they have that thing where they can't tell why he really got kicked out of the program in high school, but I would bet bottom dollar that it was probably from already stalking girls in high school. And so that was the Wi-Fi Army. And then there's one, it's spelled really, really funny. And it's like, it comes out username, but it's YEW. It's a really funny spelling. And that's the one that he used when he left the murder scene that night and his phone came back on. He came back on with a VPN, and it was under that email. So on this one right here, the Nordor at live.com. Now at live.com, that lets me know that, he's got what Microsoft and all that, which means, y'all know what that means. I ain't got to explain that. but I'm still sort of researching this database compilation and all that stuff. But I just told you what the Wi-Fi army is. Leanie, I'm not real good at driving, so just be patient. I'm used to being in the passenger seat. So um, then we'll go over here and I'll show you another picture that is. Dad, blame it. I didn't know I was muted. Hang on. Okay, so this one is another picture of some more email addresses, and I'm going to see if I can blow that up. And I always do that. Oh, that didn't work. Ah, that made it a little bigger. So this one is going to be, I can't read it. Oh, that's the Wi-Fi Army. Wi-Fi Army. So where's the next one? The next one is going to be even smaller, probably. Wi-Fi Army, Wi-Fi Army. Well, I guess I didn't upload the one. Okay, so the big one I'm going to talk about. The big one I'm going to talk about is BC Coburger. And BC Coburger is the email that he had when he did Tapatalk. And so that email, when I researched it, it came up to his Tapatalk, a Tumblr. I know Yik Yak, stuff like that. But what was so funny was I ended up on 4pleb, which is 4chan's archive site. And I don't know if y'all know this or not, but 4pleb is like totally disgusting. It is the worst thing that could ever possibly. It's just terrible, and it's an incel site. And so as I was going down through there, reading the comments and everything, I started noticing that a lot of them were just like Papa Roger and Inside Looking. And I guess I need to read my messages. So anyway, and I'm like, what the heck? I mean, because I'd always heard that he was on 4chan, but I had never been able to like really prove it. And so when I started seeing those, I was like, wow, this could be something. So I tracked the IP address. And the reason that I tracked the IP address is because I found where they had, like, the IP address that he was on in 2022 obviously came up, and it was saying that he was on a permanent ban and that he was permanently banned in 2010 for spamming. And I got the IP address and tracked it down, and the IP address is in Effort, Pennsylvania. And y'all have to admit that that's just a little weird that in 2010, Effort, Pennsylvania, it never gets brought up about being banned or anything. And as soon as this person starts commenting like Papa Roger, because it was literally the same stuff, like, the stuff that he would say that would make you think that he knew what happened and stuff like that. And he was posting like pictures of the car. And oh, uh, now Phoenix, did you go to the wait? Excuse me, y'all. Um, Phoenix, if you go to the link after every live, Daniel goes to the Drunk Turkey community post, and he puts in a new Discord because they expire. And so, have you tried going to the new one? Hey, Bullets, I haven't seen you in forever. You have been like MIA. Um, and for those of y'all, I think everybody's been in here, but Bullets and Sirius may not have. If y'all will go follow Leanie, she's a great person. She fits right in with all of our craziness and everything. And she probably needs to come with a warning label sometimes. Hey, Mark. But she's a wonderful person and you can trust her stuff, you know. But anyway, so oh my gosh, y'all. Oh my gosh. D Waldron. Oh my gosh. Miss D down there. That is my best friend of 20. Oh my gosh. 26, 27 years now. Wow. Okay. Little shock there. So, dang, I can't believe I called you D. But anyway. So, anyway, when you track it down, it comes back to Effort, Pennsylvania. And now in 2022, this warning's coming up that they're banned and that they have to fill out for this appeal and everything, you know. And after that, there's never another post that seems like Papa Roger or Inside Looking. So that would tell me, and don't listen to anything that Miss D. Waldron says about me. None of it's true. She knows nothing about me. So no, she'll be nice. Um, medical crap. Are you okay? Oh my gosh, is it from the wreck? Oh, I'm sorry. I may not have said that. So that told me that Brian Koberger was in incel forums and stuff like that. And yes, he wouldn't have been but like 15. But you got to consider at 15, those hormones and puberty and everything are going wild. So that would probably be the prime time to latch on to a male that is said to be bullied in high school, but come to find out, aw, she says I'm the sweetest and she loves me. She lies a lot too, but she does love me. But so, she got me off course again. I'm fine, just getting my neck. Oh my gosh, your neck fusion? They're going to fuse your neck? How do they do that? I mean, I know how they do it, but I mean, that doesn't seem good. I mean, dang, I'll definitely keep you in my prayers and keep me updated. You know how to get in touch with me and keep me updated. So, with him being an incel subculture and everything, and for the I know that y'all go, you know, with Dr. Vanna and everything, so y'all know what an incel is and all that. And but I found a couple of interviews where the girls are talking about that they didn't bully him, that it was actually him not respecting their boundaries, and that any kind of behavior they gave to him was to make him leave them alone. And like I said, I think that's the reason that he got kicked out of the high school program is because he was tracking the girls. Because I do know that if he ever got a girl's phone number, he would just constantly call and message and text, and till they finally just had to like block him because he doesn't respect boundaries. I don't know if he doesn't respect them or if he just doesn't care. Okay, I will get those. Hang on, y'all. Serious, entertain the chat for a minute. I got to go find the interviews. Yeah, I totally agree with that. I, I guess, yeah, yeah. Serious, Lenny is fantastic. Okay, so let me see if I can get this. Let me see if I can get this uploaded. If I can't get it uploaded, I will at least read it to you and take a screenshot because y'all know I'm all about some receipts and stuff. So, and if I can't get it uploaded to here, I will definitely post it on my community post. So y'all will have it. Okay. It says people need to stop calling it bullying when a certifiable creep is told off by girls or women. It's not our responsibility to manage the emotions of someone we set a boundary with. Boys and men are not entitled to making girls or women feel uncomfortable. Everything that was said to him, everything that was done to him, and they don't ever say what was done or what was said or anything like that, was from us to tell him to stop calling it bullying, that we are telling him to leave us alone. He was upsetting us to the point that we were telling him off. So it said then the reporter says that they're the victims, not him. This is victim blaming, the same thing as saying women who dress provocatively are asking for it. This narrative of how incels are born puts the responsibility of crimes on the victims. And to me, that was such a profound statement because I had never thought about that. Because if you say that they're born, then they have no control over it and it gets the monkey off their back. You know, we all know how girls are in high school. I totally get that. Totally get that. But that's the reason I'm not saying that he was not bullied at all. I'm saying that some of the cases they're saying was not bullying. That's the reason that I'm not going to say that he wasn't bullied at all. I'm sure that, because there's some mean girls, believe me, there's mean girls, and I'm 56 years old and there's mean girls, so I'm sure that there's some mean ones out there, but I'm sure that there's probably some that that he weirded them out and just wanted to be left alone. And then when it went back to the Tinder date that he went on and she talked about the birthing hips. Well, see, I'm the one that had told Daniel that the birthing hips was actually a line in a Tim Burton movie in 2012 that Johnny Depp played in. Oh, okay. Sorry. Um, and so as I kept reading all this and everything, it talked about the date with her and the birthing hips, and that birthing hips is very well known in the incel manosphere. And for y'all that don't know, a manosphere is a group of incels. That's where they are, is the manosphere. And that birthing hips is like the big insult to a woman because they consider women to only be for procreation. It's pretty easy to sense the creep from him, ain't it though? It's just in the way he would look at people and know it's not polite to stare through someone's soul. Asking girls if they live alone without a bar. I am so glad that you put that in there because I said something one night about his line being, "Do you live alone?" And somebody called me out on it and asked me to prove it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to go back and find that because I didn't think about screenshotting a one line, but from now on I will. And yeah, the Handmaid's Tales. That's a big old clue right there. I mean, what's he doing sitting all up in the Handmaid's Tale? Um, and can I tell you the Max Factor? Creepy Andrew Lester tried to so hard to get my best friend to go out with him. Even figured out the wrong number. I can still hear it. See, that's what I'm saying. They don't give up. And I don't know how much y'all know about Elliot Rodger. Elliot Rodger was so entitled in himself, or he felt so entitled, that he bought a lottery ticket. And when he didn't win the lottery, he went to his bedroom and he was crying and all upset and everything because that lottery, he was supposed to win that lottery. And when he didn't win the lottery, he was so upset that it devastated him. And so he tried again and he didn't win and stuff like that. And it just got to where he was just devastated because he wasn't winning the lottery because he was entitled to that money. And I think that's one of the biggest problems that he and his dad had was his dad and his stepmom, they didn't cater to him. There's an article with the bar owner from yes. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Well, see, The Handmaid's Tale, I mean, from what I understand from The Handmaid's Tale, the women would be infertile. And so they would get the girls and make, them carry the baby and all that because, it wouldn't, it, it's a big old, that was a mess. Handmaid's Tale is a mess. All I know is they were infertile and the other girls had to carry the baby, but they were not, they were treated like crap too. I mean, they were pretty much hostage. I mean, so where was it? Okay, so basically, okay. Another thing is, I don't know if y'all know, but in 2014, he was in a hospital called Brandywine Hospital, and I do not know. Yes, totally, Lenny, totally. Do you want to come up? Anybody want to come up? Um, but in 2014, he was at a hospital in Reading, Pennsylvania, and it was called Brandywine Hospital, and he was in there for his eating disorder. I mean, you got to consider he lost over 100 pounds. He had skin removal surgery. He was addicted to heroin. So he got sent to the hospital. And I don't know if it was like a dual diagnosis of the eating disorder and addiction, because I do know that he went to rehab twice, but I don't know if that was one of them. I will have to watch it one day. I figured it, yeah, it would, yeah, PKC, it would, yeah. So I found, let me get to my pictures. I hate not being prepared, but it's okay. I'm learning. That's the reason we do these at midnight. Oh, by the way, I did, I don't think they would be watching me at 1:30 in the morning. They don't know my name. So anyway, I infiltrated a incel group. I couldn't believe I got accepted. So what I'm going to do is I am going to, I'll be right back. I hate that mute button. I tell you, I hate that mute button. So see if I can get these pictures again. Okay. I have to upload everything. But anyway, they're uploading, maybe, possibly. I don't know. So, and y'all know how frustrated I get when things don't go right. So, oh, what eating disorder did he have? See, because of those HIPAA laws, the only thing that I know is that he went to the hospital with an eating disorder, but I think that it's going to me, maybe, possibly, I'm not even going to speculate, but, he was so obsessed with, no meat and stuff like that. And there's been rumors that the obsession was afraid that he would get addicted to liking meat a little too much, if you know what I mean. Um, but from what I found, his obsession with his diet was from candida overgrowth, which is a yeast. And I guess we can always say that a yeast infection caused him to do it, but that would be sort of funny in a way. And it's not funny. Hey, Glitter. Y'all go follow Glitter. Glitter is a fantastic person, and we need to support her. Glitter, you're doing absolutely wonderful. Um, so anyway, it was from the candida overgrowth and toxins and everything. And his fear of toxins comes from I he's the only one that ever mentions this. So if it's not true, it's Koberger's fault because it came out of his mouth. but he talks about from living in a house with mold. Now, all the research I've done, thank you, Laney. The research I've done, I haven't been able to confirm the house had mold in it, but that came out of his mouth that he, lived in a house with mold. Um, and if that's true, I can understand, his fear of toxins and stuff like that. And so what happened was he tried two diets and he really believed in them and everything until he found Kaufman's diet. And when he found the Kaufman diet, it was basically like vegan and keto and stuff like that. And that's where it comes from that he's a vegan. He's not a vegan for his love of animals. He's a vegan because he's obsessed over his diet. So, but anyway, I found some more IP addresses, and one of them was in Reading, Pennsylvania. And I knew that at that time of that post and that IP address that he was in Reading, Pennsylvania from being in the hospital. And, you've got in 2010, his parents declare bankruptcy. But then between 2011, 2014, he's losing weight, getting hooked on heroin, having skin removal surgery, losing over 100 pounds, going to rehab, going to the hospital for eating disorder. And I'm like, my God, they're going to have to file a third bankruptcy. I mean, oh, bullets, I would love to hear it. So while as I'm doing my research, I get a message and it says, Nina, there's another prototype you need to look into. And her name is Emily Coral. So I start researching Emily Coral and come to find out Emily Coral is a missing person. And she was in the hospital. She was in Brandywine Hospital with him. And she's a missing person. Um, so then I get a message, and this is how a lot of my research is people send me stuff. So the other night I'm on panel with Gage and somebody comes in and they're like, Nina, have you seen the picture? Have you seen the TikTok of the girl talking about the girl at church? And I'm like, what? And it really surprised me because I've been doing a lot of research on his resentment towards religion. And I'm like, so I found the video and let's see if it's going to let me upload that. Hang on, y'all.
So I know a lot of you guys want to know more information on how I know Brian. He was the guy that killed those 4 students that attended Idaho University. But yeah, I commented on this video because they were talking about the whole situation. And I said I knew this guy, and it's so crazy that he's done this and things like that. And after that, so many people were viewing my TikTok account. So I think it's appropriate for me to share on how I know this guy. So this guy used to attend the church I would go to on Thursdays. It was a young adults ministry. He would attend, but he wouldn't attend on the regular. Someone invited him, so that's when he started coming. My best friend thought he was cute, so she went up to him and, they had a conversation and things went from there. They both started talking a lot, And as they were talking, sometimes he would ask these weird questions. One of the questions he asked was, how would you react if you found out I was a Satanist? I'm not saying I am, but how would you react? Like, what would you think about that? And it just got weird for her. He would tell her that he would jog at 2 o'clock in the morning in the Poconos. He said he lived near the Poconos. Sometimes he would invite her over to his house, but my best friend's mom would stop her and say, no, you're not going. It got a little too much. This guy will follow her to her job. He will follow her to her home, things like that. It was getting really weird. One time she told me that he went to her job and he had like a robe on, and he told one of the people that worked there, oh, tell so-and-so I said hi. So yeah, it just got really creepy for her, and she told me about it. At first I didn't see anything wrong with the guy. He looked clean cut, he smelled good. I mean, he just looked all put together, things like that. He didn't seem aggressive or anything like that. Some people did tell me, oh, he's kind of weird. I don't know. I don't trust that guy. There's something off about him. After my best friend told me that stuff about him, then I started suspecting, okay, this is weird. Why would he ask certain questions? Why would he tell certain things to her? So that's how I knew him, and it is not surprising at all what he's done. I mean, it's really, really weird. It sounded so occultic. I wouldn't be surprised if he is in a cult. But yeah, a lot of you guys are curious, so I felt the need to share that. But just certain things that has happened, certain things that it's just still in shock. I mean, my best friend called me yesterday sobbing. She's like, that could have been me. He could have killed me, things like that. And I was just blown away. I was just like, wow, this is crazy. He could have had me too. He could have killed me too. You know what I mean? But I'm just, by the grace of God, I'm thankful to be alive. But justice must be served.
Yeah, and then there's that. Yeah, a robe dolphin. I didn't. Yeah. Now I have her name. Now I just found this video last night, probably about midnight, so I haven't been able to like really dive into it. But I'm actually going to contact her and see if she'll come on panel. And oh my gosh, yes, PKC, very high maintenance. But I wanted to read this right here. It says when you lose a bunch of weight, you tend to get yeast infections in your skin folds when you lose weight, and it causes infections. See, I never knew that. And he had to have the skin removal surgery. So thank you so much, Bullets. And as far as him being high maintenance, I think that is a lot of the reason that people think that he has that incel tendency is because, no matter what they look like, they're all about their looks because in their heads, they're it. Yeah, allegedly, in our opinion, and allegedly. All right, so let's see. I figured out a way to go around videos, so I'm going to play y'all a video while I go and upload some pictures, and I'll be right back. But that way, y'all don't listen to dead air.
Harsh words, violent blows, hidden secrets, nobody knows. Eyes are open, hands are fisted. Deep inside, I'm warped and twisted. So many tricks, so many lies, too many wins, too many whys. Nobody's special, nobody's gifted. I'm just me, warped and twisted. Sleeping awake, choking on a dream. Listen loudly, my silence screams. Calm my mind, the numbers unlisted, lost
Okay. Why is that playing? Go away. Hang on.
Harsh words, violent blows, hidden secrets, nobody knows. Eyes are open, hands are fisted. Deep inside, I'm.
Oh, I guess we'll just delete that. Boy. Okay, so here's the map. That's the one that's in reading. And you can see that it says it's a house, but I don't know. It could be the hospital, it could be a house. I don't know. So then this is where it says that it is from the residential cable, broadband, all that stuff. Um, well, it uploaded just a minute ago. Damn it to hell. Yeah, PKC thinks it wasn't over. Oh my gosh. Sometimes I can get up here and everything just goes smooth as ever. And all right.